Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
This is Ito.
And we are the Carbonation Conversation, reviewing a new Paramount Plus series, Halo.
Contact.
I guess I should have said episode 1, right?
Yeah. Contact.
Yeah. And if you like what you are hearing, definitely contact Mo Beats 89 in the description below. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on Facebook, Podbean, and YouTube. And if you do this shout out, yeah, we're doing the shout out first. But
Shout out
is for you. Ito, what we got today? What we got?
We got some Fritz the Cuffs Pilsner.
I am so glad you pronounced that name before I did.
Yeah, I didn't want you to try. That's why I did it. That's why I did. I'm like, Melvin can't say this right now.
I do like the boxer on this picture.
Yeah, it look like some, like Swedish.
Yeah, I was like Swedish, German, something like that. Reminds me a lot of Beer Fest.
Buckle Down Brewing. Work hard. Work with your hands.
Yeah, Anderson Lyons, Illinois. At least that's where it's distributed or produced. I see Lyons, Illinois at the bottom.
5.0%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
the brewed and packed at 8700 West 47th Street.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm gonna confess because I picked the two beers for today. I'm always looking for pilsners and like American ale, German ale, things like that. I saw you. So let's do this. I
had to loosen it up because I already tried to see if I could do it.
I was like, okay.
Sometimes I can't. I have no nails.
Oh, it's so funny.
I can't
You're gonna
get the
have
beer.
to wheel video. It's gonna be hilarious when you do that shit. Happy New Beer.
Happy New Beer.
It's American Pale Ale. Tastes like America.
America.
Fuck yeah. Oh, I love that fucking movie.
But this is good. I like it.
Yeah. I'd buy a 12-pack of this. I mean,
it would be. It's really good.
Yeah.
Probably
it was a 4-pack. It was, yeah, you don't even want enough. But anyways, it's fucking delicious though.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
I wish I was that beer connoisseur that could be like the hops, the nuts, the balsamic. I'm not. It's a fucking
yeast.
good beer. Yeah, right. Like, you know what? One day we should buy a fucking beer kit and make the carbonation beer for the carbonates.
The carbonates.
The carbonates. Anyways,
we just we'll call them Melvito.
Oh! I like the way you think. Oh! We can have some for you. You know, we call it Big Daddy. Like, hey, did you have a Big Daddy?
Big and little.
Hey. Bro, I fucking love it. Okay, so we're reviewing a Halo series. And this is obviously the first episode. But before we get to the first episode, I need to get off the nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when me and you were playing, I don't even know what specific Halo it was, but we were playing Halo and we played from beginning to end, and it was, you know, you remember when you were in the truck and I was driving and you were fucking killing everybody. We had to go off of fucking ramps, and Halo is an experience that I can only imagine the people in the early or mid 80s felt when video games first dropped. Because
that was the Xbox thing, that when Xbox came out, and that was like their first major game.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, we love Xbox now. Just because of Halo.
Exactly. Not only that, it introduced me to something I never even experienced before. I remember even when I was over at Ito's house, I had this little certificate. You remember back in the day, they used to fucking send you pieces of mail. Microsoft used to say, hey, you want to play on Xbox Live? We'll give you 7 days free.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I was at Ito's house. My brother lived with you at the time, and we had the Xbox. I just had the Xbox 360, so I brought it over your crib, and then you because it was yours. It wasn't mine. He had the 7 to 14 days free on Xbox Live, and we put that motherfucking code in for Halo, and
oh yeah,
multiplayer online we even met this little white kid who was like, "Hey man, are you black?" You remember
Are you black?
I was like, yeah.
Like it was his first time playing with a black kid.
I know, like we experienced. I had never experienced online gaming, but my first online gaming experience was motherfucking Halo.
Yes.
Happy New Beer. I don't know about you, but for me,
same.
Oh, same. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It was mainly because I liked that it was we could play together. Local
exactly.
Play, even on online.
Yep.
You know, and then later on, games came out where you could do that.
Yeah.
You only had only one screen, and you know what I mean. And that sucked. Like I'm the type I like playing with people in the same room, even if we play online.
Same here.
I don't know. It's just a different vibe.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
We was brought back on Turtles in Time, Streets of Rage,
GoldenEye.
I know all that shit. Well, we could literally play together in a room, fucking WrestleManias,
course.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just different. So now we have, and I'm not going into. And again, if you wanna fucking Google this, Google yourself. Paramount Plus takes on Halo. I don't know how much money they spent, but I'm pretty sure it was a fucking ton.
Paramount Plus sucks.
Okay, yeah, we're about to get into that. I like Paramount Plus. My son loves Clifford the Big Red Dog, the Sonic movie, by the way. Have you seen Sonic with Jim Carrey?
The first one, yes, but not the second.
Bro,
the new one.
Jim Carrey is fucking phenomenal. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But Paramount Plus, we need you to step your game up, bro. Like,
it's like
even for me to move down.
Sometimes it takes 15 to 20 minutes just to put on something. It's just like, what the hell?
Bro, like, I don't understand
on my
that.
TV, I have to sign in just about every time I put it on.
I don't have to sign in, but in order for me to eat, it's like a 2-minute delay, even for when I want to fucking press down. Like it's ridiculous. So Paramount Plus, we like
Step
you.
your game
You know what I'm
up.
saying? Just step your game up. You know what I'm saying? We're paying. I'm paying for this. Okay. Shout out to T-Mobile. I'm not really paying for this. Anyway.
So a lot of people were criticizing how Halo started off, and I don't see why. I feel like they made it for people who have not played the game.
Yeah.
And people who played the game were like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, I like how they do it. It's to start from the beginning. You gonna jump in the middle of shit? Like,
I would say this. I wish I was the gamer, because I wasn't, that paid attention to the story.
Yeah.
First person shooters, point shoot, give you something to kill. Never.
Well, I paid attention to the story, but it's a while back, and I could barely remember
I'm not expecting
that's a lot of blunts ago.
The only story, by the way, we just leaving in Chicago, so yeah. So, but the only story I remember paying attention to, you remember that Call of Duty story where the guy was like, he thought that was his friend, and he ended up being like the guy with multiple personalities, all that shit. He was the guy. You remember?
I didn't play Call of Duty at that time.
Oh, okay.
I haven't played Call of Duty until recently.
Last
like 2 or 3.
Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, I was never the gamer that was attached to the stories, and to be honest, I wish I was.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
when
know
me
why
and you
you
were
weren't.
playing,
That was the best part.
I remember.
That's the best part to me.
Again, like
even
when me and you were playing together.
Even the Call of Duty games now, the story's the shit. You know, but they're so short because they're only made for online
campaign.
multiplayer.
Yeah, it's like multiplayer.
The campaign is so damn short,
dude.
but it's the shit.
We should have a drunken tangent on fucking multiplayer versus campaign. But yeah, my whole thing is like I was just shooting kill. I didn't pay attention to the story. Even when me and you were playing, it was emotional at the time, but I didn't know the overall arc. So I was very, very hopeful of this series that they didn't go, oh, hero versus bad guys. Let's see, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then something happens where the hero finds out the bad guys are his, you know what I'm saying, on his side. No, it's actually a different approach in this show. And we begin by these
I mean the opening scenes is in the world of Madrigal.
Yeah, and
Madrigal
it's the
is a rebel people basically against the United Nations Space Command, the UNSC.
Yeah, do you have the year? It was like 25, 55. It was like some shit. Yeah.
This guy.
Hey, my bad. It was like 25, 50 something. And basically, you got these people on the planet. They're chilling. They're having a good discussion. They're having lunch.
Yeah, they're drinking a pub.
They're talking about war.
Yeah, they're playing cards. Old man speaks of what was. Speaks of stories. Tells us war stories, basically. Yeah. And you see a guy on the TV who turns out to be this guy Venture. They talking about fighting against the Reach, which is basically the UNSC and all that.
Now, I will say that did remind me of just like like a Minority Report. Is you have some person on the TV saying, "Hey, this is the be all end all. This is what we're fighting for." Extra shit. You got a motherfucker saying, "Hey, turn that shit off. Exactly. We ain't on that shit."
Yeah, that's just false hope, basically. He's saying, and we'll be attacked with everything that they have. And some kids like, we mean like the Spartans, and they laugh like, what? Like Spartan? That's like the worth 100 Marines, one Spartan. Yeah.
And what we find out is it's funny because in America, I think they did this on purpose because for how we feel about Marines in the United States, they're the real deal. They're like the big and bad. And compared to a Spartan, the Marines is nothing. Right. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, they're like, the Spartans aren't human.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? They
kill without mercy.
Exactly. And so, we have, it's just basically this entire scene. We get to know.
Yeah, you get introduced to General Jin Ha. He comes in and basically he's like, first thing, where's my daughter? You know what I mean? And probably wandering with her friends. Kwan. And then it goes to Kwan, a young girl.
And she's with
her
friends.
Left the outpost, which she's not supposed to do, with some friends. They find some madrigal roots, a galaxy's highest concentration of heavy hydrogen, and they take it like a drug.
Yep, and you can either use it for energy or you can use it as a drug.
Power ships or use it as a drug, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, one thing I did like about that shit was that the lasers, like, you know what I'm saying, like when you playing in a video game, and I really do like the first person points of view as far as the video game is concerned, but when you shoot lasers, I always feel like it ain't bullets, it ain't impacting, it ain't blood splatter.
Oh, why that shit goes through you? That's worse.
As we see.
Yeah, so before,
you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck.
But before she eats her, everybody's eating the root. Before she eats hers, she sees a ship. So she's like, what the hell? So she starts walking towards the ship, and all her, like, basically the alien, the Covenant, start coming out. Like, basically, Covenant, a group of aliens, nobody even knows why they're here, what they want, or anything.
She just basically sees a spaceship, and she knows automatically, we ain't about this life.
So she started running, but all her friends get killed.
Yeah, and she's trying to tell him, she's like, hey, bro, I saw shit. And I don't know to the extent that you trust your friends, because when she told them that, they was like, oh, let's go see it. And she's literally fucking
at the same time,
them.
They're high.
Yeah, but
forget that.
Bro, we can smoke a couple of blunts.
That's not a blunt, though. There's a root that can power a ship. Yeah, you don't know how high they are.
All fantastic.
If you want crack, you don't care.
Yeah, at this point, this is where I'm like, the lasers. Like, when I'm shooting no Halo, it's like, I don't want to see that. I want to see the blood of this ammo. Bro, the effect of these goddamn lasers, they took out
They took the real effect. Why would you think lasers are not gonna fucking just make you squirt blood?
God, the Star Wars, they got those pew pew. Like, they need to upgrade to this shit.
That's Disney. No.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
So they're not gonna do that.
Yeah, that is true.
So Kwan fires she kind of gets away. She's the only survivor. She shoots a flare to the sky. Someone
notified the dad and his people.
The general, right?
So it's a war going on, and they're prepared for Marines coming because that's what they think it is.
They think it's
and
the
she's
Reach.
like, hey, bro, this ain't Marines. These are people I ain't never seen before. And basically, they break into their. I guess I can say homeland. Can I say homeland?
Or their base.
Their base. Okay, let's say their base. They break into their base, and they
start murder. Like fucking Quan is in a room with the women and children protecting them. That's where the father sends them. Mm-hmm. But she sees all the shit going on and she wants to. I want to help. I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
You know what?
She was kind of pissing me off a little bit.
Shit.
She was being a little too much.
I said that same shit because
but if she didn't do what she did,
I guess supposedly she would have died
with them. I guess.
And I will say that is a little bit of cliche, but I do give them props for killing the kids. You get points for that.
Damn, right,
because that was pretty shocking.
So that's when a UNSC ship arrives, and first thing that drops, Master Chief.
Yep.
Just does one of those hero ass landings and shit.
Yeah, and okay. I play the game Halo, right? I don't know anything about the characters that I'm playing. Apparently, Halo is like he doesn't have any feelings. Right. Yeah. I'm asking you to back me up because I don't fucking know.
That's what they're right now. That's what they're saying. Even remember the people at the bar were saying.
That's it. They had no mercy. Yeah, they kill without mercy. All that shit. So he comes down.
He comes down. The general thinks that they're here for them, so he's getting ready to shoot at them. But then he takes out some of the Covenant, and then him and General Ha look at each other.
Yeah,
give a
with
little
the nod.
You know, and they realize they're on the same team right now. Then 3 more Spartans drop in, Silver Team.
Yep.
You know, and then it's so hilarious. Then they start showing like first person, like showing shout out to the video game.
I do like that.
The shield
like
going
that.
down. Right, the shield went down.
I love that shit. Shut out.
That was badass.
You know what? It's so funny because when I used to play multiplayer, one of my favorite weapons was the sword. And these motherfuckers.
Oh, they were using the shit out of that sword.
Episode.
Yeah, that's what you see. Like, you see Ha and Quan, father and daughter, make eye contact before one of the Covenant guys basically kill him with the sword.
And I mean, that sword was fucking bad the fuck ass. So what basically happens is all the Spartans, they come, you know, he has a team, Spartan D, Generation X, whatever you want to call them. Whatever.
Silver Team.
Okay. Silver Team. and they lead weights to everybody. You know, they cleared the point. But unfortunately, the civilians were killed.
Everybody except Quan. Basically, the Covenant forces, he says, he goes on his little radio, Covenant forces neutralizes 20 elite and 150 civilians are killed.
Yeah. And also, one thing I will mention is that Spartans and these people, do you know the name of these fucking people? Do we know the name of these people? Like, they are against each other.
They're just the rebels.
They're just the rebels.
The rebels from Madrigal.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, they're rebels, and obviously, like Ito said, you know, the father, you know, gets with them and all that stuff. But, you know, what we know now is basically that, hey, this foreign alien species came, interrupted everything, and now it seems like the world needs to get their shit together to fight this. Yeah. Basically, bottom line.
So they basically, you know, after he kills the Covenant guy, alien that kills the father, that was the last one in the area, so they decide to go look for the ship. Quan is basically, like, they find that she's alive, but they just leave her there.
Yep, they don't really give a fuck about her.
So she goes off. She kind of ends up following them. They find the ship and go into a cave that's near the ship, where they find an object. Yep,
and the object is he touches the object, and it reminds me of this Black Mirror episode with Anthony Mackie where they were soldiers, but they were programmed to do some shit because they were basically brainwashed. It seems like that's what's happening with the Spartans. They're the Spartans, right? Well, that's the actual name.
Yeah, they're Spartans. That's
yeah,
what they
okay,
are.
They're Spartans. It seems like that's what's happening with the Spartans. It seems like they're brainwashing the Spartans, or they're suppressing their memories, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
It's just one of those things you can tell. It was like, oh, they raised as children and took their emotions away, blah blah blah. But so they there is another alien in there watching, and
which the father sees.
He's getting ready to shoot. Not the father.
Oh no.
This is after.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're in the cave.
My bad. Go ahead. Happy New
Are
Year.
you drunk already? Are you drunk already, Melvin?
A little bit. We did review. What did we review previously? I don't even
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. We reviewed Moon Knight. Go ahead, Eno. Go ahead. Continue.
So before the alien shoots him, Master Chief touches the object, and next you know it lights up. The cave lights up, and he has some flashes.
Yes.
Of apparently memories.
Yeah, and I thought those were straight different memories. I did not know it was his own. What the doctor said.
Well, I to me, like, yes.
Yeah,
why wouldn't he? Why would he not see other people?
See.
Why wouldn't he see his own memories, Melvin? It's someone else's.
Every time you think you make logical sense, I'm gonna have your ass take a shot for future references. Not today though. Go ahead.
But
I got you on that one. Go ahead. But yeah, I mean.
So so the other Spartan that's with him, because they just pulls him back, pulls him away. He snaps out of it. Mm-hmm. Then that's when you see the alien run away, and they try to shoot at it, catch it, but it takes off in the ship.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And it's funny how that alien was like how you just run like
exactly. So
okay,
he's
you
see something's going on with Master Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they go outside, see Quan passed out there, and he says, "Okay, you guys go back. I'm gonna take the object."
Yeah, even the woman says, "Hey,
like,
that's not the protocol." And she's just like, "You know what? You need to do that." Quan is obviously, she's knocked out because of being ran.
So he takes Quan
takes her and the object.
And the object, right?
And he is just kind of stuck on this object. To the point where we are introduced. I don't know her name. Fill me in. Is her Catherine?
Dr. Halsey.
Oh, sorry, Dr. Halsey. Oh, my bad. Dr. Halsey.
Halsey, basically. That's what everybody calls it, Halsey.
Oh, okay.
So they go to Planet Reach. Mm-hmm. That's where Dr. Halsey watches the footage of what happened and all that stuff with the object.
Mm-hmm.
And then you meet Admiral Paragonsky. But from now on, we're just gonna call her the Admiral. Her name is little
bro, and she is so serious and so intense.
And so when she walks in, Halsey basically swipes away the footage. Like she doesn't want her to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And she's mad about the dead rebels.
Because she's just like, hey, political wise, because again, the rebels are against the UNMC. Is it the UNMC? UNSC. The rebels are against the UNSC, but they're trying to bring them together for like a greater good. Like, hey, we need to fight these Covenant motherfuckers, but obviously the rebels have a reason to be rebelling against the UNSC, which we don't really know to a certain degree. I mean, they fill us in a little bit, but we don't really know. She's she's pretty much telling the doctor, like, hey, you need to be, you need to be on it, basically. Like, because of the fact that Halo is down there. Yeah, Halo is down there, and they don't really know what's going on. I know I'm pushing a little bit.
There you are.
Yeah, I'm a little bit pushing I'm sorry.
So, basically... It's the Admiral. They're talking about the object and what it could be, and then the Admiral looks in the room and says, "Hey, I thought I told you to stop this project. What are you doing? Put this to its end." So right now you don't know, but I had a kind of clue what it was, but I don't know if you do, so I'm not gonna say that.
I didn't. I thought it was like a Resident Evil monster.
So she tells her stop that project.
And as you want me to go?
Go ahead.
Okay. And as she basically, and as we actually see this being, she's obviously like butt ass naked, bald ass head and stuff, and we don't exactly know what this specific being is.
So then you go to the Covenants. You go to the High Charity Covenant Command, where you see the commander speak to a human girl and tells her about the Spartan bringing the object to life like she can.
It's like the High Charity, some shit like that.
Yeah, she's apparently the blessed one.
Now
she was reading some human book
now,
to better know the enemy.
To me, now what's interesting to me about this is like that she seems worshipped, and yet they don't understand the language that she's reading. So it's like it's a little bit weird. They're talking to her and they're just like, hey, we need. They're basically talking to her to a certain extent as far as like, hey, you don't need to take these human writings. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, not even that. I feel like the high commander was like trying to look at her like people, like the others might take this as a weakness to you. Like,
yes,
like you're reading their language. She's like, oh, but he's not like. He's like, maybe you will read them to me one day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of like the end of that part. Mm-hmm. Then we go back to the ship. Quan wakes up, and basically this girl Miranda, who they wanted to send to talk to Quan because I guess maybe she's younger.
Yep.
And stuff like that.
And the girl she's basically like, hey, let's reason, let's talk. You've seen the damage that the Covenant has done. So would you be able to basically, kind of make a commercial type of thing, kind of slogan saying, hey, I'm one of the tribes that they basically wiped off the earth. Can you join the UNCMSA?
She's just like, what?
Yeah. And she snaps off.
She snaps.
And my only thing with that snap off was like, do you really know what's going on? Because you're pretty much snapping out.
But they don't really know what's going on either.
Yeah, they're just trying
to get other rebels to join, but they went the wrong way after all the shit that they apparently did. You know what I mean?
And
so she's just like, I won't do shit without our independence.
Yep. And
Madrigal needs their independence if we want any kind of help.
Yep. And she even kind of mentions, like, even if I were to tell you what you said, do you think the other people would believe me?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They would reject. They would think maybe I was, convinced or whatever you want to have it. So she ain't really having it. But also she is on a ship, because like you said at the beginning, Master Chief, he has the figure.
The object. Yeah.
The object. Nice word, Joe. I appreciate that. He has the object. And basically he saved her. So basically they're on the ship together. He's constantly looking on this fucking object because he had in contact with and he was seeing memories. So he doesn't really know what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? What we find out is that the person who was talking to Quan has a family, and I mean, obviously she has a family, but her father and mother
is the admiral.
Like, yeah, they are big time players in this government.
Yeah, the mother's the main motherfucker.
And I was fun. Is the mother the person that was like, oh, kill them all?
Yeah, admiral.
I was just making sure. I was just making sure. I was like, oh yeah, because she is so fucking evil, that bitch. Yeah. But yeah, so what basically we find out is the rest of the series lines with, because of the fact that the Master Chief touched this artifact, he destroyed something that
he opened up something in his head.
Yeah, that allows him to remember, basically.
Yeah, so he tells Halsey what he saw.
Yes.
The woods, the white dog, the people who he thinks his family.
Yeah, and at the point where, because of the fact that, what is the little girl's name? Quan. Because of the fact that Quan doesn't want to go along with the propaganda, they want to kill him.
They order Article 72, which is basically kill.
Yeah, and they send it to the Master Chief, and the Master Chief, because he touched the artifact and because something is wrong, and because he's experiencing these feelings,
he doesn't want to do it. He cuts the feed, and then everybody in the Reach is going crazy. Like, what's he doing? Why is he cutting the feed?
I do like the fact that the doctors, his team, because I was really wondering if his team was going to turn on him. Basically, the doctor was like, hey, just so you know, if anybody attacked the Master Chief, bro, you got his back. You know what I'm saying?
So she's questioning, Admiral's questioning Halsey, like, why is your guy doing this? And then Halsey's like, see, this is why Cortana is needed.
Yep.
And then Admiral's like, no cloning, no Cortana. So they drop the oxygen level in the ship.
Yep.
She passes out. They drop the oxygen level in his suits.
That's fucked up that they can.
He starts dropping out, but apparently before he could pass out, he still pulls open a panel and basically takes over.
Yeah, they're like, what is he pulling? He's like, he's trying to control the oxygen levels.
Yeah.
And good thing he's a smart soldier, because if he was just a regular soldier, he would have probably been dead at this point. You know, basically,
that's why
they're trying
Master
to kill
Chief.
them both. Yeah.
So the ship's being sucked in because it's on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
So he basically turns the oxygen level back up. Admiral gets prepared to attack. Tells them to suit the Spartans up. Halsey stops him and tells you got to protect Master Chief at any cost.
Mm-hmm.
Any threat to him, you protect him.
Yeah, and I do like his crew. Like, I almost thought it was like the Gears of War crew. I was almost about to call him Carmine. But yeah, he says, hey, you got to protect this. And even, you know, we do know something with the symbol. Something with this artifact or with this whatever the fuck you want to call it is going on, because when he touches it, it lights up. You know, his whole body lights up. And apparently these soldiers are supposed to be memory wiped. They're supposed to be just ruthless as soldiers.
No emotions, no memories. But yeah,
when you touch his artifact,
Quan has a gun to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wants out. He's like, this armor's made of titanium. You're not gonna get through this. So he takes his helmet off for the first time.
It was funny. I thought it was lying, and I thought she was gonna shoot.
So he was like, if you want to shoot me, if you want to kill me, you have to shoot me here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And she's like, why are you doing this? And he's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So he cuts off the
artifact that he touched, as I touched my brother right here. The artifact that he touched has had some profound
it opens
shit.
up something in him.
Yes, exactly.
So basically, they have him. They're
dead to rights.
They're dead to rights. The ship's powered down and everything. And
I actually thought I was going to see his team massacre everybody, because his team, like you said, the doctor was like, "Hey, you protect the Master Chief," and then they was just like, "Oh, word." And I thought literally I was like, "Oh God, let's just kill everybody."
Instead, he touches the object.
Mm-hmm.
It lights up every damn thing, powers the ship.
Energy.
Yes.
So I'm like,
has another flashback as well.
Yes, when he is, dog, all the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they fly off. And so I am so curious. Doctor. Okay, we got Doctor, who seems like she wants him to live, although she is doing some crazy ass experiments with human cloning. So you know what I'm saying? Like, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh, human cloning. Okay, you saw that person like fucking Species in the other room and shit.
Yep.
And
which
then
looked like Halsey.
Yes. And
it's a clone of her.
Yeah, and basically. And now we have the Master Chief going rogue. Hopefully his team helps him out soon.
We'll see.
So, for all intents and purposes, how you like the first episode?
I liked it. I thought it was a good opening, a good origin. You know what I mean? I didn't mind it. That's why. Why do people hate this so much?
Really? Why do people hate it?
I didn't tell you.
I didn't.
Halo fans hated it.
Really?
Because they thought, like, what is this? This is too slow. But this is for people who don't know Halo. What is wrong? This is Origins. What's wrong with this?
Wow. Now we'll talk about the actor. I thought it was the actor from Justified. I don't know his name. When I heard his voice, I thought it was the actor from Justified. But what I actually found out is he's the actor from Law and Order SVU.
He was
in a couple. He's been in a fucking shit ton of shit.
American Gods was the last thing I saw him in.
Okay.
He was the
my phone.
What's it called?
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Jesus. Supposed to be on silent.
I'm
Melvin.
sorry. I'm
Come
sorry.
on.
Should I take a shot on that, or
no, I don't know. You're drunk enough.
Okay. Go ahead. Happy New Year.
He was basically a leprechaun. Yeah. He was my favorite character on the damn show. Had such a dirty mouth. Everybody was a fucking cunt. You know what I mean?
And he's a really
he was great. But
really
he was
actor.
originally great in the Law and Order SVU. He was the one that
The bad
kidnapped.
guy.
Yeah, kidnapped the main character and basically killed and raped people on the way. with her.
You know,
he snapped on that role, definitely.
Man,
But yes, he was great.
All right. So, how we gonna do this? You know the name of the episode, right?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Should we take another shot before we?
No.
No. He is really trying not to have you take
Trying to
another
leave,
shot.
really.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
This is Ito.
We are the Carbonation
Carbonation
Conversation,
Conversation.
reviewing the first Halo episode.
Contact.
Love you and see ya.
Don't drink and drive.
Drink